Mathematics, the Winton Gallery at the Science Museum in London, tells stories about 400 years of how mathematics has shaped the world we live in. There's 120 exhibits on show. In this film, we're going to look at just 10 must-see objects. In the centre of the gallery is the Handley Page Gugnunk aircraft from 1929, made for a safe aircraft competition where the mathematicians worked with the engineers on aerodynamics and the shape of the aircraft to make sure that aircraft would get you back to Earth in one piece and an industry could take off. The architectural ideas in this gallery, designed by Zaha Hadid architects, are themselves mathematical. The curved structures around the aircraft hanging at the centre of the room and the layouts of all of the showcases are solutions of the mathematical equations of airflow around that aircraft. The telescope behind me was used to make a really precise series of observations of the stars above us. And those observations went on to be published in one of the 19th century's most popular science books, the Bedford Catalogue. In 1953, a devastating storm surge in the North Sea caused the loss of thousands of lives, and mathematicians studying the ocean went around the world to find people who could help understand what was going on. One of them, a Japanese oceanographer, Shizuo Ishiguro, started to make this electronic model of the North Sea. The result of all of this mathematics was that countless lives were saved. The Manchester University differential analyzer on show here was one of the most powerful computing devices before the Second World War. It was built to help electrical engineers, but during the war it was pressed into service for a variety of military purposes, one of which was to calculate the uranium enrichment for the atomic bomb later dropped on Hiroshima. It's widely known that Enigma machines played a hugely important role in the war effort of the Second World War. And it was really important to us that we had an Enigma machine here on display in the gallery. In fact, Enigma machines were available before the Second World War as business machines where you could buy them to transmit your business messages safely and securely around the world. Mathematics is at the heart of keeping buildings up. The National Westminster Tower, the architectural model of it's on display in this gallery, was one of London's tallest structures when it was built, and it used some remarkable mathematical techniques to understand how the forces would act to make sure it remained a part of London's skyline. The difference engine was invented by Charles Babbage in the 1830s, but he never managed to complete one. The one on display in our gallery was bought by the British government, made by George and Edvard Scheutz, and it was used to calculate mortality, when people are likely to die, and it put the insurance industry on the firmest mathematical footing. At the heart of all science and all societies is the ability to measure accurately. In the early 19th century, the Foreign Secretary, Lord Castlereagh, sent a message to all diplomats overseas saying, send a set of the local weights and measures from your area to London so they could be compared accurately and precisely with Britain's standard pound. They were gathered together in a huge cabinet specially made for the purposes, and it's one of the stars on show here. In the 1940s, economists were developing new mathematical techniques to understand how the economy works. And one of them, Bill Phillips, developed a machine for teaching that. And it used the flow of water to represent the flow of money around the British economy. As I was developing this gallery, my eyes were opened to just how important mathematics is to everything we care about. From life and death to war and peace, trade, money, beauty. These are the stories that we're telling in Mathematics, the Winton Gallery at the Science Museum.